What's up, guys? Thanks for watching. In today's video, I am basically just going to try and answer a question that I've had for quite a while, and that is, what is a ballistic tip? So I've heard about ballistic tips forever. I've actually shot them quite a bit myself over the years, and I've never really known what they are or what they're for, and what makes them so special and usually so expensive. So I've seen other gun channels shoot stuff with ballistic tip rounds as well, and they usually seem to make bigger holes than regular ammo does. So today I have the Federal Premium 40 grain Nosler Ballistic Tip 223, and 40 grain is super light for a 223, so I assume that these are going pretty fast. And I'm just going to load some of these up and bring out some different targets and maybe compare the damage that a ballistic tip round does compared to the damage that a regular 223 round does. According to Google, it says ballistic tip bullets are a type of bullet designed to bring the aerodynamics of the Spitzer to hollow point bullets. So basically it just sounds like it is a hollow point with a plastic tip on the end of it to help it fly straighter through the air, I guess. And this is the ballistic tip that I have. You can see that red plastic tip on the end of it there. And this is the regular 223 that you see next to it. So I'm gonna get out some different targets here and compare these two bullets and see what the difference in damage is between the ballistic tip and the regular 223. Let's do it. All right, let's start with a couple watermelons. And I assume that these will probably just explode with both bullets, but let's give it a shot. All right, so first we'll do the regular 223 and then the ballistic tip. Well, that didn't really show us very much. They both exploded, but I will say the ballistic tip watermelon definitely exploded more and just disintegrated into a ton of really tiny little pieces, whereas the regular 223 kind of cut it into, 4 or 5 big pieces, but that ballistic tip definitely exploded that watermelon. All right, so the watermelon didn't show us too much. Let's try a squash. Now these are probably gonna do the exact same thing, but squash is a little bit harder, so I'm hoping that the bullets will pass through these a little bit better and maybe not explode them so much. All right, first up, the regular 223 and the ballistic tip. Now that definitely showed us a big difference from the regular 223 to the ballistic tip. You can see a hole in the first one that I shot with the 223, and the second one with the ballistic tip just exploded. So that was pretty cool. 223. All right, so there is our entrance hole from the regular 223 on that first squash. And there's the exit hole, and there's the squash that we hit with our ballistic tip. So obviously a very big difference there. That was pretty cool. Let's move on from fruit. I want to find a tree that we can shoot and maybe see what the differences are there. This one don't look bad. It's probably small enough that the bullets could make it through. So I just want to see, if you were shooting at something hiding behind a tree or something like that, what the ballistic tip would do out the other side. I think I'm going to shoot that one. Regular 223 and ballistic tip. So there's our entry hole from the regular 223, and there is the ballistic tip there. And on the entry hole, it looks like the ballistic tip definitely took off a little bit more bark. Around to the back. There's our exit hole from the regular 223, and the ballistic tip did not come out the other side. So that could be from a knot in the tree, or maybe that ballistic tip just expanded inside that tree and didn't come out the other side. All right, let's try paper. I've got 3 packages out here, and these are really good at stopping bullets, so I should be able to dig them out and take a look after we're done. Full metal jacket. And the ballistic tip. This table is a mess from that watermelon and squash that I shot. but the regular 223 full metal jacket went in right there and just blew out the back of that third package of paper, which I didn't really expect. So the full metal jacket went all the way through all 3 packets. The ballistic tip hit right there and did not make it out the third package of paper. Actually did not even make it out of the second package of paper. Okay, it did leave the first package of paper and went in right there. I can actually kind of see that bullet in there, so I'm going to go ahead and dig this out and we'll take a look at it. So those are the 2 main pieces of that ballistic tip bullet that I pulled out of the paper, and it looks like most of it's probably there. Those are pretty big pieces, but as you would expect, penetration is not this bullet's strength. So the full metal jacket so far in most of our tests has penetrated much further, while the ballistic tip is expanding and doing a lot of damage, but stopping shorter, just like a regular hollow point would. All right guys, now I'm gonna do a ballistic shell test. I got my 20% ballistic shell block on the table down there with a couple water jugs behind it, just in case it over penetrates. And I am gonna do the regular 223 first, and then the ballistic tip. Kind of moved. I'm gonna have to go resituate that block. And the ballistic tip. Wow. Wow. All right, so our full metal jacket is the one on the left there. It's kind of hard to see, pretty small hole. And it actually made a really big wound cavity there, and it looks like it kind of dropped down, hit our table right here, disintegrated my paper towel. I tried to cover the table with a paper towel to keep all that watermelon juice off of it, and the actual bullet is right there, and it came out of the bottom of the gel block. Looks like probably at about the 14-inch mark there, and is completely intact. Flattened out a little bit, but stayed intact, and did quite a bit of damage in that ballistic shell block. Now, our ballistic tip went in right there, just beside of it, and that is super nasty. It kind of just exploded in there. Looks like probably 2 inches in, maybe 3 inches in, that bullet just completely came apart into a bunch of little pieces. There is a big piece of it right there that went down probably 12 to 13 inches into the gel block. You can see it right there, but it looks like most of that bullet basically just exploded on contact, and that is really nasty and not going to be fun to clean that out of the gel block. So that was pretty cool. That wasn't really what I expected. I kind of thought it would just expand like a hollow point. I mean, some hollow points do, you know, break apart quite a bit like that, but I don't think I've ever tested a hollow point out of a 223 that performed like that. I mean, that thing just like starburst basically on impact. Cool. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day, guys. Thank you all for watching. I hope you liked the video. The ballistic tips were pretty impressive, and I'm definitely a fan. Obviously, like I said, I did not expect that ballistic shell test result. That was just super nasty, and I've never really seen anything like that so far that I've tested when it comes to rifle ammo. So that was pretty cool, and yeah, just super impressive, and I'm a big fan. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up for me, guys. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. All right, guys, it's a couple days later, and I have some leftover fruit from this video that I wanted to send out the right way, and I have the rest of the 223 ballistic tips and my AR-15 here. Let's take them out. Thanks for watching, guys.